So starting the respiratory system, we'll take a look at the section for the lungs. And we'll just go ahead and skip this term, costal surface. So we'll omit that one. The apex of the lung is a superior point. So just the superior tip, and as opposed to the base is the broad inferior side, base. We have the right lung here, and the right lung has 3 lobes. So there's a superior lobe, a middle lobe, and an inferior lobe to the right lung. The lobes are separated by fissures, and we have a horizontal fissure that's unique to the right lung. And then there's a oblique fissure going at an angle. Again, over there now to the left lung, there's a superior lobe and an inferior lobe, only 2 lobes. And there's only one fissure, another oblique fissure. So the 2 lungs. And now we'll move over to the next section here. And that's where we're seeing now structures on the nasal cavity and down the throat. So we'll switch over to this model here. And we'll just go across the columns. So starting at the external nares, it's really the term for the nostrils, the external nares. And we have just the entire space of the nasal cavity. Posterior to that, this narrowed area here, I'll draw the line right across here is the area of the internal nares. Internal always meaning deeper. And in the nasal cavity, we can see these 3 bulging sections of bone structures. These are all the nasal conchae. Or just a quick look here in the skull. This is where we're seeing the various nasal conchae. But back to the model, it shows all 3 of these nasal conchae. We then move on to the sinuses. And for the sinuses, we need a view like so. And it'll be this picture right here is posted on our webpage. And the sinuses are just named for the different bones that they're located in. So these hollow cavities and the various cranial and facial bones. So study this view for the sinuses. And now we have to go back to this view. And we're now going to start with the pharynx. So again, for reference, we'll draw the line of the internal nares. And just posterior to that, this area now bounded here is the area of the nasopharynx. And the next inferior space now is the oropharynx. And now, next inferior space, there is the laryngopharynx. So naso, oro, and laryngopharynx regions. And then that'll lead us to the area of the larynx. And that's now the area right in here. And then we'll switch over to our distinct larynx model. So here's a model showing the entire larynx region. And the detailed cartilage structures. We start with this big piece here. We're looking at the anterior side. We have the thyroid cartilage. And now inferior to that, the piece here, we're seeing the cricoid cartilage from this anterior view. We do see a bit of the epiglottis here, the epiglottis. And we'll just turn the model so we can see a view of the epiglottis now from the posterior side. We're able to see more of the cricoid cartilage. It's larger on the posterior side. And from this dorsal or posterior view, we're able to see arytenoid cartilage. And just to highlight it, arytenoid cartilage. And just a little tip there, you see the 33, the cone. That remaining tip is the corniculate cartilage. just a little point there. So now moving on from this area of the larynx, which is what we were just viewing here, is the area of the larynx. And now we're able to see inferior to the larynx, the trachea. As the trachea comes down, it now starts to branch. And the branch points are now called the bronchi. And they're just named at each branch point. So there's what's called the first branches. You see the A and the B here. These are primary bronchi. And now where they split, we now see multiple secondary bronchi, just at the second branch. And now you notice it branches again and you see the multiple colors. These are now tertiary bronchi. So just from the trachea, the first branch, primary bronchus, the next branch is secondary bronchus, and there's multiple. And then the next branch is color-coded tertiary bronchi.